Good morning. This is Katie Robinson Edwards, your Umlauf curator, coming to you live from the University of Texas campus. It is pretty quiet today, and we're looking at a very special sculpture that we have easy access to, unfortunately, because the university campus is closed. You'll hear a lot of activity in the background. But let's start by looking at it. I'll flip the camera around in a minute. This is what we're looking at. It is Charles Umlauf's Torchbearers. I'm going to go ahead and flip the camera around so that you can see, when you come to see it yourself, we're actually on the West Mall, so at the equivalent of the Drag and about 22nd and Half Street. Pretty easy to get to on a bicycle, or you can park over in West Campus, especially when things are so quiet. But let's look at Umlauf's Torchbearers, and I want to talk a little bit about this sculpture and then tell you more about the theme and what it's related to. So obviously UT is closed and their gardeners are not doing a lot of gardening, but look how beautiful this is right now. Look at the gorgeous plantings around it, all the flowers that are coming up here in May. This gorgeous setting for the Torchbearers, which have been in this exact position since they were installed in 1962. They were commissioned by Umlauf as part of the university wanting to get a famous sculpture, because Umlauf was quite famous by about 1960 after he did the Spirit of Flight for Dallas Love Field, and he was their hometown professor. And they got him to make several campus sculptures, including this major piece, Torchbearers, that was in front of what was then called Flan Academic Center. And it also became the undergraduate library. So what is the theme of this? Well, it is two runners passing a torch, which you can interpret any number of ways. The torch of knowledge, the torch, a physical torch like the Olympians. You can see he's modeled it after some classical style. And last week we looked at the family in front of the Macomb School of Business. Now we're looking at these Torchbearers, and I want you to notice, don't worry about this. This is natural discoloration from the bronze. It does need conservation, but look how gorgeous it is. It's held up really well. The sun's coming out. Look at the size of that foot on the left-hand Torchbearer, and here they are from behind. We'll come back to the base in a moment. Let's look at it from this way. The Umlauf has the scale model for this. It's one of Umlauf's most important sculptures. So when we open back up, please come see it at the Umlauf, the scale model, and also we invite you to come to see this one on University of Texas campus. So the theme is perfect for, let me see if I can get in the bushes, sorry. The theme is actually perfect for an undergraduate library. It symbolizes allegorically the idea of passing knowledge from one person to the next. And Umlauf meant for these figures to be allegorical, not specifically just two white men, but two figures who are both at the peak of their physical abilities. Look at this. And they are passing the torch. Love the little loincloths. Notice that that's a nice discreet way of not making a nude. It looks very much like Spirit of Flight, which he had made just the year before. And then there's the torch up there. So here's where I want to get into something a little bit deeper, which is Umlauf's themes. We had a show at the Umlauf a couple years ago called Flight and Fall, about how Umlauf always has a duality of themes going on. There's always a sort of a positive and negative, a yin-yang, different meanings. And we look at this one wholly in a university academic kind of secular meaning, passing knowledge or the torch, or however you want to interpret it. You could even think of it as age passing towards youth, even though they're both the same kind of character. But there's all kinds of metaphorical interpretations. And it is a theme that is very much like that of the figure of Prometheus. And let me show you, let's come down quickly, give you a pass at some early photographs of these in black and white from the 1967 Umlauf book. Here it is when it looked, there you go, when it had flowers around it. There is a fountain here, we'll talk about that in just a minute. But Umlauf also made a theme of, this is the 1990 book that has a beautiful color image of Prometheus. And this is at Austin Community College campus up north. Not exactly my favorite sculpture, but very interesting. This is quite late, probably installed in 1989, 1990. But that's Prometheus, and I think you'll see some similarities between the Prometheus figure and our beloved Torchbearers figures. So Prometheus was a demigod who got in trouble with Zeus for stealing fire and giving it to the humans. He is a great hero to the science community, to mankind, humankind, because it actually gave life to people. But he also got in trouble for it and was punished cruelly by Zeus. And if you come to the Umlauf, you will see the punishment of Prometheus. And we could talk about that another day. But today, I'm just hoping to point out how that theme of Prometheus Prometheus also made humans out of clay, so is a great creator, which is why Prometheus is seen as a hero to artists as well, and scientists, because he was a creator. So that concept of Prometheus is also embedded into the secular, non-mythological Torchbearers. And that's a really fun thing that Umlauf does. He does it also with his Madonna and Children, where they have both a religious meaning, if one wishes, or a secular meaning. So happy to talk more about that. And I want to say a couple more things, which is if anybody wants to join us on a guerrilla conservation mission, we could actually come here while the university is closed very safely with social distance and take a little better care of it for the opening of the university. We could do that with a little bit of wax and not get in trouble. And I also want to talk about the signature and the base. This is so fun. Here it says See Umlauf. If some of you watched last week, you can look it up on our Facebook page. We looked at his signature on the family in front of McComb's Business School. In that case, it was raised up in relief. This has been incised. And you might remember also last week he did a funny thing. Well, he did it in 1960. We saw it last week. He put a period at the end of Umlauf. This just says See Umlauf. And he would have incised that into the wax before it was cast into bronze. And given the size of this, it probably took 20 different pieces cast separately that were then welded together. And where was this made? Well, the sculpture tells us. Sculptures always tell you what you want to know. You just have to look closely. At the Fonderia Artistica Battaglia e Compagnia, sorry for my Italian accent, Louis, Milano. Well, that's neat. It was cast in Milan. And as I said before, Umlauf cast a lot in Pietrasanta, Italy, but he also needed to be economical. And so he cast in Milan, where he got slightly better prices sometimes, and he actually spent a lot of time there in the 1960-61, and he was there the Christmas season of December 60 and 61, getting ready for these. And there's another funny thing here too, though, if you want humorous details. Milano, of course, is the Italian word for the city of Milan. Italia is the Italian word, but here they write Italy. So here you are in Austin, Texas, and if there's any doubt of where Milano is, they have made it clear right here that it's in Italy, in English, just so you won't get confused. I think that's probably enough for today. Thanks for watching. Again, give us a ping if you want to come talk about this more, and we really look forward to seeing you when the Umlauf is open up again. Bye-bye.